Well, that sucked. Welcome in, everyone, to the Talkin Kentucky post-game show. My name is Coleman Scott. I'm joined by Brad Harvey of College SportsCast for our second Talkin Kentucky College SportsCast post-game show of the year. And I thought this one was going to be a little bit different than it is tonight. But the Cats lose. I don't even know what the final score was, Brad, because I don't really care. All I know is that we scored 6 points. We didn't score a touchdown, and that sucked. So there you go.
Pathetic, absolutely pathetic showing. Everybody that is associated with Kentucky and with that team should be ultimately embarrassed. Like you have recruits there, basketball recruits are there, football recruits are there, national TV. This was the very first game of the new SEC contract on ABC. This was the very first game on ABC, and this is what you put out for the world to see once again at home. And I'll be honest with you guys, I got several rants, and y'all are going to be in for it tonight because I am going to let some stuff loose.
I thought there was a chance that we would lose the game. Honestly, I thought we were going to win. I thought it was going to be a blowout. I saw that 10-point spread. I was like, yeah, give me the Cats plus 10. Doesn't matter. You can put it plus 11, plus 12, plus 15. I don't care. I'm taking the Cats because I thought South Carolina looked awful against Old Dominion. And I thought we were going to cover the spread. Thought we were going to win handily. I thought there was maybe a chance that we would lose. I could see it as a possibility. But, Brad, I didn't see it as a possibility that we would go in today and get absolutely blown out. I'm just going to go and say it. Brad, I think that was the worst performance of the Mark Stoops era. Can you think of a worse performance of the Mark Stoops era?
In the Mark Stoops era, absolutely. Let me turn my hat around. I'm blue to the through and through. I'm just going to tell you guys that.
Hey,
my
Brad,
life, but I'm going to tell
Brad,
you right now.
I had my Win Tucky shirt on today. We didn't win Tucky today. I had Win Tucky.
I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to call Mark Stoops out right this minute. Mark Stoops, you have been on these rants on some of these press conferences and radio shows and all this crap about NIL and having, it's too much. You've been calling for money from fans. I'm going to tell you right now, the fans were there. Go watch SEC Nation. The fans are ready for some damn football. The shit you just put out on the field was embarrassing as hell. And I don't want to hear not one more time come out of your mouth. Not one more time do I want to hear a damn thing about the fans supporting Kentucky football until you put a damn product on the field that's worthy of some damn people supporting your ass. I'm serious right now. I don't want to hear another damn word come out of your mouth. Not once. Not one time.
I want to time out for just a second. Tanner Hayden says John Summerall is waiting. I'm friends with John Summerall on Facebook. Brad, I came this close. I typed out a message. I said, hey, are you free next year? you want to come over to Lexington next year, John?
I mean, John Summerall,
I'm ready for it.
Got screwed today. They put up a touchdown with 12 seconds to go, and they called an offensive interference that was right on the line of scrimmage. The guy has to get off the line. John Summerall got screwed today. It was going to be a tie ball game. I don't know if they would have won, but they're going up against K-State and put up a damn showing. The shit that we continue to put out on the field in big-time situations, big-time TV situations, big-time games, the product that we are putting on the field is pathetic. Pathetic. It's pathetic. Absolutely, insanely pathetic.
Brad, I think you should run for president. You got some people down here in the comments saying, "Go, Brad."
Let me tell you
this rate,
just exactly how pathetic it was. Do you guys know that for 2 quarters in the second and the third quarter, we had zero completions?
It's
Let me say
awful,
that again.
man.
Zero. I can do that.
Yeah.
Shit, I'll be 50. Put me on the field. I can do that.
Jared Wells says, I've always been on the fence about Stoops. Always felt like he's won, while a lot of the programs in the old SEC East were at a down period. This is just further proof of that. Cannot compete when it matters. Zero excuses. Yeah, man, like, I'm as big of a Mark Stoops fan as anybody out there.
Anybody knows me, they know that I absolutely love Mark Stoops.
I love Mark Stoops. But I was, for the first time, maybe ever, mad at him today, Brad, because they were not ready to play on any front today. It was an excuse.
Their execution was pathetic. They wasn't ready under any circumstance. I mean, we had, and I'll be honest with you, I quit watching in the fourth quarter. So I don't know exactly what we wound up with. But with about 10 minutes to go, we'd given up 4 sacks and 9 tackles for loss. 9. That's 13 negative plays.
And 13. This is the thing from last year. It's really coming back to haunt him, Brad. I mean, it came back to haunt him last year, but especially, even now, Brandon says Mark Stoops telling us to pony up, right?
Exactly some of the comments that I was talking about when I started this rant.
Yep, the pony up comments are still coming back to haunt him, Brad, because as we said last time you were on the show and even last week's post game, this might be on paper the most talented Kentucky football roster we've ever had, certainly in the Stoops era. And yet, look at what happened today. Right? Look at what happened today.
I don't even know where to begin when it comes to that. It should be one of the more talented teams.
Yep.
Overall teams that we have had since the 70s. Let's just put it that way. It should be. However, you got to get your team prepared to play ball on national stages. And I'm going to take this even a step further. If you watch my show on College SportsCast, I have been calling,
like and subscribe,
for this Kentucky team. I'm sick and tired of watching these cats, my cats, and watching them suck. And I mean suck at home in the SEC.
Yep.
After today, we are 2-8 in our last 10 home SEC games. Mark,
is that right? We're 2. Did you
we
say
are
2-8? We're 2-8
in our last 10 home SEC games. Mark, the pony up bullshit is for you.
Yep. It works both ways.
Yeah. Pony up these damn players and get them prepared to play home games in the SEC. If you can't do that, then it's time for you to pack your bags and leave Lexington. I'm not ready for you to go. I'm not. I think you've recruited on a level that we have not seen in 40 years.
Brad Jared has a comment here. 2 wins against team with winning records since 2013. Brad, is that right? 2 wins?
Yep. With
that's hard. That's so hard to believe, dude. So we've won 2 games against teams with winning records since Stoops has been here.
This is in the SEC.
In the SEC.
That's not counting the Louisville games and stuff that we have won, because we've beat them a few times with winning records.
But still though, man, it's bad. It was bad today on all fronts.
This isn't even talking about teams with winning records. South Carolina is not going to have a winning record in the SEC. Guarantee it. I will guarantee it right now while I'm sitting here.
You know, I saw them play last week, and I don't care how good they look today, Brad. I still don't think South Carolina's good. I just think we're bad. Yeah, I just think we're bad. Do you know, and Brad, like, I'm not a football expert. You know much more about football than me. You can look at a team and kind of tell these things more than I can. But, like, I saw so many times us put pressure on the quarterback and we just weren't able to bring him down. And, like, when we knocked the ball loose and we weren't able to pick up the fumble, like, it's embarrassing, Brad.
I mean, Sellers is like 6'4", 6'5", and 242, 243. I mean, he doesn't have the size of a normal quarterback. But having said that, you still got to get his ass to the ground.
But no, we got these, like, you know, Maxwell Harrison, these guys, like, get to the quarterback, right, and put hands on him. Why can't you bring him down? Like, if you can run, we got all these guys that are faster and bigger than him that can bring him down, and they don't. That's just so frustrating to me. Like, we get to the quarterback and we don't finish. Like, we don't finish.
So many things though, Coleman. I mean, my Lord, like, we have a 4th and 1, and they line up specifically to draw us off sides.
Yeah.
This was right after the half, their second possession. We had them stopped. Instead of them punting, they line up to draw us offsides. And guess what they do? Because we're undisciplined.
Yep.
What do? We jump off sides. They go on to score the touchdown and go up 17-6. That's how they got that touchdown.
Chris has 3 strip sacks and 0 recoveries. Yep. That to me, that's what I'm saying. Like, that to me is the most frustrating thing. 3 strip sacks and 0 recoveries. That to me is
everybody in the stadium, everybody that was watching knows what South Carolina is doing. They know they're doing a hard snap count to draw them off sides. Everybody. Anybody that knows football knows that's exactly what they're doing.
Chris says 18 consecutive run plays. Is that right? Well, we run 18 consecutive run plays.
Well, we had 11 on one possession. So, and then we had a few more. So, yeah. But I mean, the problem is we couldn't drop back. Our offensive line, and I'll get into this too. We had some injuries today, and I'm pissed off about that. This is our house. Yep. I'm going to start doing I'm going to start beating the table just like Brian Kelly. This is our house. Yeah. We got to be the physical team. You don't let South Carolina come in here and manhandle you. Hey, I'm sick of watching these damn teams come in to our stadium and wear us the hell out, not only on the scoreboard, but physically.
Especially South Carolina. Greg says, Was there even one pass to the tight ends today? I'm going to go with no, Brad.
I mean, shit,
I
we only
didn't notice.
we couldn't even drop back. Every
No.
time we dropped back, there was a tackle for a loss or a sack or a rush. I mean,
I was worried.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I could do a damn better job.
So let's talk about that. Brandon says offensive line was badly coached. What do you think it is, Brad? Do you think it's like just physical, like talent? Do you think it's coaching? The offensive line was obviously bad today, but what do you think's the culprit there?
I mean, we changed coaches, and Eric, the new coach, has been a good offensive line coach. Now, Jagger Burton got hurt. Mincy got hurt. I mean, they put in the redshirt freshman Crease for a few minutes, and lo and behold, he was pathetic, just to be honest. He was a redshirt freshman, first time being out there in that kind of situation, but he was pathetic. They had to take him out. They put our backup guard, Dylan Ray, at right tackle while Mincy was out. Then Burton got hurt, and they had to move him back to guard. I mean, but here's my thing. This is what pisses me off. Why is it that Kentucky is the one that always gets out physical?
We shouldn't. We're supposed to be the guys that are physical.
Why is it that when we match up with these SEC teams last year at Georgia, 14 players got hurt? Tonight, today, this afternoon.
John Summerall. I'm telling you.
I'm going to tell you right now, this afternoon, I bet you we had plays stopped and people, helped off the field. We probably had 6, 7, 8 players helped off the field. How many did they have? Why are we the ones that's being out physicaled all the damn time?
Claude says I should message John Summerall. Brad, what do you think? If I were to message John Summerall, what should I say? Should I say
he's probably pissed right now? I don't think I would message him because he got screwed today.
You think maybe tomorrow I can message him and say,
hey, but I don't think I would do it today because okay. John Summerall's a fiery guy. I don't know if you know much about him.
I do.
I'm gonna say he's pissed today.
Oh, I bet he is too. But to be fair, we're pissed too. Who do you think's more pissed? You think we're more pissed, or you think John Summerall's more pissed, Brad? Who do you think's more pissed?
Fans are here probably, but I'm gonna be honest with you.
Stoops didn't even look mad.
I'm beginning to wonder where the fire is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm beginning to wonder where the fire is because I don't see it.
Vince Merrill just got the raise, right? He's $1.3 million.
Vince tries to have all that moxie and swag and all that stuff, and it means jack shit if you can't go out there on the field and actually prove something.
Yep.
It don't mean jack shit. I'm sorry.
But I love it. But I love those guys, Brad. It's so that's why this is so hard because I'm so invested in UK football. I've said several times on the show that I might even be more of a football fan than a basketball fan, which is weird for Kentucky guys. I told Drew Franklin that the other night. I was like, Drew, I might be more of a football guy than a basketball guy. I love UK football. Drew and I were talking on Thursday night how we were going to kick South Carolina's ass today, and it didn't happen. And it just sucks, Brad. Like, I don't want to be mad at these guys. I don't want to be mad at Vince and Stoops and all that, but it's hard not to be when you see that performance today.
A performance like today, and I'm dead serious. Stoops has got to walk in that damn locker room, and I'm dead serious. He's got a clean house.
Yep.
I'm serious as a heart attack. I have been on board with him keeping his guys, but after a performance like this, he's got to clean house.
He's got to do something. So let's try to talk a little bit of football here. Brock Vandagriff didn't look good. Do you think that's on Brock Vandagriff, or do you think it's on the O-line, Brad? Like, what do you think
O-line
that
was pathetic. I mean, let's just call it like it is. The O-line was pathetic. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not. I told you last week that I wasn't happy with the play calling. I wasn't happy with all of those jet sweeps.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. That shit's not going to work in the SEC.
Yeah.
It don't work. And I'm not saying that you can't run them at all, but you certainly can't run 14 jet sweeps in one damn game. Mm-hmm. You might catch them off, catch them not paying attention and hit one and a half or something on them. But I'm going to tell you right now, that shit, the SEC is too fast. These guys, these players are too fast. You cannot run that kind of offense. Today, in the first quarter, first half, they come out, they tried to run a few of those jet sweeps, and what happened? They blew them up. They blew up the plays every time. There was one where they were trying to do one to Barian Brown that come across, and he got blown the hell up on the play.
Yep.
And Brock had to take it back and keep it and went upfield for like 2 yards. And they were literally coming to do that damn jet sweep. And before he could get the ball on the snap, how quick it was, he got blown up. You cannot do that consistently in the SEC. I don't care where you come from, Bush. I'm talking to you. That is never going to work in the SEC. You want to catch somebody off guard with a play, but you cannot line up consistently and do something like that. This is Kentucky. This is SEC. It's just not going to work.
And usually we put up a fight, at least, Brad, with these Stoops teams, and at least we're physical and we put up a fight, even against South Carolina in recent years.
We play like this, we're getting beat 100-0 next week.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But Marcia says, I couldn't watch anymore. Totally embarrassing. Brad, I can't remember the last time I just wanted to turn a Mark Stoops game off. I think it was probably Georgia last year.
Probably.
Maybe the last time.
I turned that game off last year.
Yeah. I think that may have been the last time, but it's Georgia, right? But against a SEC opponent that you can conceivably beat, that's not Georgia. I can't remember the last. I mean, it's just
all I can tell you guys as fans is welcome to Kentucky football. That's all I'm going to say, because this is what we do. This is what we are. We climb a little bit. We fall back. We become mediocre. We become terrible. This game, and I told Coleman this before we come on the air, this was Joker-esque.
Yep.
This game was Joker-esque. I don't know if you guys remember the 40-0 drubbing from Vanderbilt, because everybody tries to block that shit out of their mind. But this game was Joker-esque.
And
y'all have no idea. I despised Joker. I called him the joke. The joke.
Yep. Man, it was bad. It was Joker-esque. I completely agree. That's good comparison there. I argued before the podcast started that it may even be worse than Joker in some ways. I mean, Brad, we didn't I was going to pull up highlight. I usually pull up highlights on these post-game shows. We didn't have a highlight today, Brad. We didn't do anything. We didn't do a single thing good today. There was not one thing.
I guess you're going to need a couple of field goals or something is all I can tell you.
Yeah, that we did not do a single thing well today, Brad. But hey, guys, we want to we want to chat with you. We want to hear your thoughts about how you feel about the game and everything. No cursing. Okay, I've already said this on our on the post about the post game show.
That's even hard for me. I probably said one or two.
No cursing. I know Brad cursed a little bit, but no cursing from our callers. Okay.
I try not to say a couple of real bad ones, but
yeah, we don't need to do the real bad ones. Yeah, no cursing.
That's hard for me when I get upset, to be honest with you.
We're going to be clean, so no cursing. But if anybody would like to call in, we'd love to hear your thoughts. I mean, that's part of what these post game shows are. They're group therapy time, right? That's pretty much what it is.
I've been saying on my show, I know that is Jeremy down there at the bottom. I've been saying on my show how angry I was going to be if we get beat by South Carolina all preseason.
And here we are. We did. You're on with Talkin. Who's this?
It's Clyde.
How's it going, man? Well, I know it's not going good. I shouldn't even ask that. But, man, what you got for us?
You know, this is absolutely embarrassing. This is just a disgrace. And this is just absolutely disgusting. Our coaches have no fire. They have no swag. They have no motivation. They have no determination. They have no effort. All they care about is just making their millions and going on about their day and do whatever they want to do besides coaching football. That's all they care about.
It's honestly sad, Clyde, because like I love Mark Stoops, I love Vince, and like I want to get behind this team. I was so excited about this team. And Clyde, I have tickets to I'm going to 2 games this year. I'm going to the Ole Miss game. I'm going to the Vanderbilt game. And like I want to be excited about this team. I was excited about this team, and it's hard to be now, and it just sucks, you know.
Yeah, I would just go ahead and like give your tickets to somebody else because that ain't even worth watching anymore. I mean, I'm sorry, buddy. I know I was just excited as you, but I'm gonna be 100% honest. Okay, so when we hired Mr. Bush Hampton, I was kind of like, okay, cool, but I wasn't fully like, oh my God, this is great. Like I wasn't fully like okay with it, like. There was just something about him that I'm just like, I don't know.
Clyde, did we throw to Barry and Brown one time today?
Like, I don't know about this guy. Like, I really don't like. I wasn't that confident in him to begin with.
Hey, Brad wants me to ask you if we threw to Barry and Brown one time today. I don't know that we did.
No, I don't think so. And as a matter of fact, I think even one time he tried to throw to Dan Key and it went over Dan Key's hands. And KSR, you know, they just got to stop hyping these receivers up because, I mean, yeah, they're good talented wise, but they're probably not going to have a good season as well as we think they were going to. I don't see them having a breakout year, especially with the way we put it. We won't win an ACC game this year. It's just not going to happen.
I know he had 0 receptions, Chris. I was just wondering if we had any attempts to Brown.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, Clyde. Well, I think I guess I don't completely agree. I think we'll win. Yeah, I think we'll bounce back, and I think we'll get some good wins. But nevertheless, it's going to be hard to have the season that you want to have after today.
Coleman,
yeah,
what we saw today is a 4-win team.
Wins if this O-line can't block, and if Vandegrift can't get the ball off, and if this happens all year, how are we going to get wins? We're not going to get any wins. That's the thing.
It's tough, man. But we'll talk about that for sure. But hey, we got somebody else calling in, Clyde. So we'll go ahead and take that. But thanks for calling in, man.
Of course, yes, sir.
We'll go and take this next call here. You're on with Talking Kentucky. Who's this?
This is Brandon.
Brandon, what's up, man? Sorry, we're not we're not a whole professional radio show and everything, and have the ability to put people on hold. So I had to wait for your call there a little bit, but we appreciate you calling in. And what you got for us?
So I guess the first thing I've got is a question.
Okay.
So I live less than an hour away from Knoxville, Tennessee. I live in Tennessee. So
man, that's tough, man. I'm sorry about that.
I know. And I just see them getting better in every single sport. And for some reason, Mitch Barnhart seems to be okay with us getting worse at basketball while staying mediocre in football. I don't understand. What is your guys' take on why Mitch Barnhart is content with the way we are?
Well, it's tough, man. Like, especially with the NIL stuff now, it's really making it worse. And I'm not saying I like NIL. I'm not a fan of the way it's going and everything. It's definitely hard to see Tennessee being better and better and everything. They even winning in baseball now. They're winning baseball. They're solid in basketball every year. Basketball or football is getting better. It's tough. I even think, to be fair, man, I think if we took all of our NIL pool and we put it into football, I don't even know even then that we'd be able to be competitive with some of these other SEC football schools. So I think we have to continue to put our NIL sort of, dough into basketball. But man, I don't even think it's a problem necessarily with getting talent here. I don't think it's an NIL problem. I think it's a coaching problem. Like,
it's an execution problem.
I don't think the
it's
team
preparation
was ready today. And that's what's really frustrating. I think we have a very, very talented roster. And I think like the administration is doing a good job of putting all the pieces in place to be successful. But if you're asking me, I think today was strictly like an X's and O's football problem. So
I agree with that. I think we have the team to be successful.
Brad, I'll let you go after we hang up on the call and everything. Okay. But yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry.
I agree with everything you just said. I just wish Mitch Barnhart would make a move. With Mark Stoops advanced us for sure, and then it seems like for the past 6-7 years we've plateaued, and you can count on us to almost every season we start strong and then lose 5 games in a row.
Yep.
And this year we're not even doing that. We're immediately coming out the gates and getting blown out in our first SEC game. I just wish we would make a move somewhere, because it can't get any worse than it was in the 90s.
We got to do something, and it sucks because you got Georgia coming in next week, right? I mean, it's not going to get
exactly.
It's not much better, like, right? I mean, it's not like you can even regroup. I mean, with Ohio, you might be able to, but man, like, I'm looking at the schedule, up on my wall right now. Obviously you got Ohio, but then you go to Ole Miss, who put 76 on Furman last week, and it looks like they're blowing out whoever they're playing this week. Vanderbilt.
And Jackson Dart just set a school record. Our season is already over. Ohio will probably be our last win if we play like we did today.
Well, you got Murray later in the year, so I'm hoping we could at least beat Murray. But,
But
Vanderbilt, looks obviously better than people think this year. You might be able to steal one at Florida. Auburn, I think, did Auburn lose to Cal? Do we know that?
They did.
They did lose to Cal. Okay, so Auburn, well, there goes my parlay. Auburn, losing to Cal, so you might be able to get them. But man, Texas looks really good. I hate to say it, but Tennessee and Louisville both look really good. It sucks, man. So I'm with
Indiana put up 77 points last night.
I appreciate you guys taking my call today.
Oh yeah, thank you for listening, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Brandon. I want to elaborate a little bit on what Brandon was talking about there. So Brandon was talking about Tennessee, with all their sports kind of going up and up and up. And he was asking about Mitch and why he doesn't take steps up. I think he has. Women's basketball, he made a move. I think they're on the way up. I think volleyball's good. Baseball just got to the World Series. Basketball, although it wasn't his choice, he made a good hire, I think, in basketball.
I think we're getting a Josh.
I think that he has made a move to go up.
Yeah,
most sports.
Absolutely, man. You're on with Talkin Kentucky. I assume this is Josh Hart. How's it going, man?
It's hey man, I don't know.
Dude, it's good to hear from you. First of all, didn't get to hear from you. Brad says he's pissed. I'm sure you're pissed too. We're all pissed. It's good to hear from you, but I wish it was under better circumstances for sure.
Man, I like I told you all in the group chat, I got up at 2 a.m. this morning to drive from Maryland to make sure I got here in plenty of time to watch this ball game. And they did that. They played like that. What were they thinking going for it on 4th and 2 inside their own 30? What? I mean, seriously, what in the hell was he thinking?
There were just so many things today, man. Like, I can't remember the last time it was just like an all systems failure to this level.
I mean, we had offensive penalties, defensive penalties. Brock looked like he looked horrible, and the O-line looked like crap. They couldn't. They looked like.
Honestly, they look like high school kids.
They couldn't block nothing. It was absolutely, like you just said, an all-system failure.
I saw on Twitter today, which can be a pretty toxic place, but I saw the Mitch Barnhart burner on Twitter posted. It was like the little it was like a door with a Cheeto in the lock, and it said UK offensive line pass protection. It was like the Cheeto in the door. So that's pretty much like what it is. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I went from thinking we're going to be 9-3 and having a chance of going to the college football playoffs to
3-9.
We'll be lucky to win 4 freaking games, if that.
It really sucked, man. And we're going to talk about the rest of the season for sure here before we get off the show. But
we're not going to beat Ole Miss. We're not going to beat Tennessee. We're not going to beat Vanderbilt. We're not going to beat Texas. We're not going to. We're not going to beat Georgia. DraftKings put the spread out at Georgia -70 next week.
Would take it, yeah.
And they would cover the 70. We looked absolute. I tell you what, Coleman and Brad, I've never seen a Kentucky team with this much talent, with a 5-star quarterback, look so bad. It was, we couldn't hit the broadside of the barn.
Yeah.
It was just, I just can't believe how they played. I didn't care that I lost my.
Now I know we're not gonna. Now just don't get me wrong here. I know we're not gonna win next week. I know we're not gonna beat Georgia, but let's say we beat Georgia. Would you be more mad if we beat Georgia than if we than if we had beaten South Carolina and lost to Georgia versus beating Georgia and losing to South Carolina?
I would be furious, absolutely furious that we beat Georgia and then turn. Because we had the opportunity to get some major national attention next week. We was going to be 2-0. Going
this week.
College game day was probably going to be in Lexington.
Yep.
The SEC Next was in Lexington today, and they screwed that up. That's not going to happen now because they're not going to. College game day is not going to come to Lexington to cover that game with Kentucky being 1-1 and playing like that, and just the way South Carolina played versus Old Dominion, and then Kentucky got blowed out. I was like, I was looking to the skies hoping for a thunderstorm first quarter. So it's like, so we could just postpone the game and do it again sometime. I've never been so disgusted and so disappointed in such a talented squad. And it's mind-blowing that they performed like that. And like you said, and probably Brad said, because I'm just now getting on, now to go back and watch it, but it was just an all-systems failure. Everybody failed, including Stoops.
Yep. Oh, especially, I just don't think the team's ready to play. But, well, we appreciate you calling in, man, and we'll see you in the comments for the rest of the show.
And when's basketball
Make sure to
season
check
again?
out my rants, Josh.
Oh, yeah, you got to check out Brad's rants, Josh. Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we're getting another call here. All right, well, we appreciate it, Josh.
All right.
All right.
All right. Have a good night. Go Cats.
All right, we'll take this next call here. Everybody wants to talk when we lose. So you're on with Talkin Kentucky. Who's this? We got you. You're on with Talkin Kentucky. Who's this?
It's Marcia. Hi.
Marcia, what's up, Marcia? I haven't heard from you in a second. I haven't heard you since basketball season.
I know. I'm a bigger basketball fan than I am football.
Well, I'm moving that direction too, Marcia. So yeah.
I know you are.
I'm thinking about going to golf.
Thank you guys for coming into the group. I think it's good. I'm trying to get our group to understand how to get inside to you guys. They see you, but they don't. They say hi on the outside. But
okay. Well, we appreciate that. Thank you, Marcia, for helping
to do me a favor because I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
First, let me make a comment with Brad next because I definitely agreed with everything he said. Because I coached basketball, and when I see what I see, and when you all of you, the fans, everybody sees it, it comes down to one person. It is your coaching. They depend on their talent. And we're getting more and more talented. I can see that. Our basketball teams everything's changing. And then we're in a big hype.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He didn't even belong on the field. He did not have no control over his team or moral. And they didn't have no control over their teams at all. That's just how I look at it. Now, I don't know that much about football because I'm going to be honest with you because it bored me today. I was looking at South Carolina coach too much because I thought he was good looking. But that's beside the point. I had to turn it over.
Marcia.
Not Shane Beamer. You can't like Shane Beamer, Marcia.
I like you, Marcia.
If I had to look at Steve anymore, I was going to go into the graveyard.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
You can't get hold of your team, dude. I mean, you've got to get a hold of your team. There's still their talent, but it's like Cat. He plays with talent. Okay, that's where he doesn't coach well. He depends on that talent to pull him through. I've read so many good elite teams. I've seen that so many times. And sometimes talent can pull you through. I'm not saying it can't. It can.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I wanted to do this season for some of the groups, and some of the groups are willing to do it, is do a mental awareness for the groups because it's going to be a very high season, I think, in basketball, football, whatever, because you guys are hyped up now. And try to see if we can pull the fan base, whether you win, lose, hit that bump, to stay together this year and not have fighting and arguing so much and try to stay with the teams because.
Are you talking about in basketball?
I know you're going to talk about it. It's going to be.
Are you talking about basketball mainly, Marcia?
Well, I'm probably going to do it basketball mainly because I feel like this is a brand new team. I mean, you've got to put yourself in their place, a brand new team of kids, what that feels like to go out on Kentucky's court. I can only imagine. I play on some big
basketball. I 100% agree with.
Yeah, it's a different feeling, and my girls would be scared almost, like, okay, look where we're at, and I'm like, yeah, so, quit letting it bother you. But mental awareness is, even the players are starting to come through with it. And we're going to try to do in the groups a little bit more to get more mental awareness where the fans aren't so nasty either, because we got brand new teams, we got coming in, coach and everything, and to stay behind them
women's
no matter
team
what
too,
happens.
Marsha.
I don't expect a championship.
Well, that's
but
right.
To stay with them because
We've got to ask you about. I don't think. When's the last time you called in, Marsha? Was it before? Was it
it's been a while.
pre-Pope or post-Pope decision?
I can't remember. I was leery a little bit about Pope, but in my opinion, he would be a coach I would not want to go up against because I find him to be intuitive, because I find myself to be intuitive, because I feel like I can read coaches.
Yeah.
Mark is going to be a hard coach to read. And I think Cal will have a problem. If Cal beats us, it'll be by his talent alone.
Yeah.
He won't beat him by his intelligence of the game.
Right.
Even with his players, because Pope is too in tune with every one of his players, in my opinion.
Sure.
His recruiting alone has made him an exceptional coach already, whether we've played or not. I find him to be exceptional there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
What do you think about I've got to ask you, you being the women's basketball coach that you are, what do you think about Kenny Brooks? Are you excited about him?
That's the best thing. Another best thing they could have done. Again, when you go to clean house, sometimes you got to clean house.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you guys like Stoop. I don't know what y'all see in him. I just don't. Sometimes he comes through. Again, he plays on his talent. Sometimes that's pulled us through. A couple of years and look pretty good, and then we go back downhill again. You when you're a coach, you don't ever come out of that. That's what I like about Pope.
Well, what do you think about Kenny Brooks though? What do you think about the new women's coach?
I think personally, I have never seen him coach. Personally, if his team likes him as well as I think they do, I think they're going to have a good season. I like how he talks. I think he's truly into them, and it takes away from your family time like it has Mark and all them. I get that. It is a job. And they should be well paid for it. But, Cal made too much money and he relied on his talent. I ain't relying on talent. I'm relying on to win at any cost, because that's your job, to win at any cost. And if you're not, you better stop the game now.
Yep.
And you better get the point across now before it's too late. It's too late for football.
Well, I gotta talk. I love, I know it's a football postgame show, but I love Mark Pope, Marsha, and that family. All his girl. It's very athletic family. Like they all play sports, and I just feel like I don't know. There's a lot to like there. Like that. So I'm excited.
He's passionate about it, and he knows the game.
Yep.
He analyzes teams. He analyzes coaches. And that's what I just know he does. And though I've seen him play a little bit with BYU, and I've liked him in, I thought, he's coming to Kentucky. Well, nobody thought, well, he's not a big high-profile coach. Yeah, he is. Got to Kentucky.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So I don't want to hear anything else.
Yeah.
Okay. What about recruiting? Yeah, he's a high recruiter. He's done well for a first year. And if you notice, if he goes to pick up guys, he doesn't go by himself. He takes 2 assistants with him.
Right.
They're all on the same page. Where Cal takes himself and decides for himself what he wants, will pull him through. And it's not that I hate Cal. I just don't. The coaching, like I said, I don't depend on my talent.
Sure.
Totally. And sit back and put my legs back and think that they're going to win a ball game for me. You got to coach them all the time. It doesn't matter what age they are. They still have to be coached. If you want to win, I mean, know SEC stuff. You all set it 10 point on.
Yep.
Especially Brad. He was always cast. I love him. Okay, because he nailed it. He nailed it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and I'm just going to let you guys know I'm glad you're in the group, and definitely welcome all of y'all in. I'm trying to put my people in for you all so they can speak to you all, because I don't think they understand, but I'll try to explain that to them so you can grow bigger. But like I said, I want to do a mental awareness for basketball because of being a brand new team.
Sure.
And how hard
new coaches, men's and women's, they need that this year.
Not
I think.
Get nasty because we lose a game for some reason. I can't promise you we're going to win championship. No way. That's stupid. But I can promise you that we're going to hit some bumps. There'll be some hard ones, And I think Arkansas, if they beat us, either they go coach to coach, which I don't think Cal can go coach to coach with Pope at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Pope will win it with his own players. But I think they're bulkier than Kentucky and could manhandle us a little bit. But if we're on and shooting, I think Pope will out-coach him.
Well,
it comes down to coaching.
Let's hope we win. Let's hope we get that dub, and that would be awesome. But Marsha, it's good. Right. It's good to hear from you. We hope to hear from you more.
Talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And let me see if I can do something better for you guys and some of the groups. We're trying to hold them together for you guys.
All right.
And there's questions I can't answer. Ask them guys. I don't know.
We appreciate.
Like I said, you're gonna win us. I might need your help.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice talking to you guys. Go Blue. We can do it.
Go Blue. That's right. All right. Go Cats.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
We say go Blue, Brad. That's that's Michigan. It's not. Yeah. It's not. We're go Big Blue in Michigan.
Well, wait a second.
Michigan.
I'm still stunned by the whole Shane Beamer thing. Like, I really liked Marsha. Now I'm not so sure.
Oh, okay. Well, you're stunned that she said that she was staring at Shane Beamer. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Shane Beamer fan. I think he's a goober.
I'm not a fan of Shane Beamer. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the only damn reason that guy is still coaching in the SEC is because of Kentucky.
Yeah,
that's the only damn reason.
You're exactly right, Brad. You're exactly right. And Jeremy Kimball says, do y'all think we'll see a lot of red next Saturday in the stands? Yep. Even if we're good, if we're undefeated, Georgia gets in. Red gets in. Next week, Brad, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that don't want to come because of what we saw this week. I think a lot of Georgia fans get into Commonwealth Stadium next week.
I'm going to tell you another thing. I am banning John Hammonds from going to games.
Every time he goes, we lose.
I'm telling you, I'm banning John Hammonds from going to games. And I'm not even making this up. Yeah. He is a terrible, terrible omen when he goes to games.
Yeah. He is.
Terrible.
You're
Every
right.
time he goes to a game, we play like crap.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to be nice here.
Be civil.
We play like crap every time he goes to a game.
We do. Hey, anybody else that wants to call in? We've had some good calls here. We like hearing from you. We like talking with you. 502-234-1504. Give us a shout if you so desire. Jeremy says my buddy sold his tickets before the season even started just to pay for season tickets. This one game actually paid for
Shane Beamer wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for Kentucky football.
I mean, we say that and we laugh, but it's true.
I ain't laughing.
Brad.
I don't think it's funny at all.
It's true. Like, I mean, think about it. If he's 2 now, and now he's 3-1 against Kentucky. He's 3 SEC wins.
5-7 last year. Will probably be 5-7 again this year, even with the win and the win last year. I'm telling you, the only reason he still has a job is because of Kentucky football and a Clemson win and a Tennessee win that he somehow got. I don't know.
Well,
those 2 wins and the Kentucky wins.
Let's talk just a little bit. We saw Gavin Wims today. We thought we'd see him against Southern Miss, but we had the weather and all that stuff. I know that just today sucked all around, but I mean, what do you think about Gavin Wims? Like, do you think we might see him a little bit, Brad? Like, do you think that would help?
If you want a quarterback that's going to get you, 60 to 80 yards on the ground and not have a ton, through the air, okay, because that's what you're going to get.
Have you lost faith in Brock
myself? I would rather have a 5-star quarterback with a damn offensive line that knows how to block and drop back and throw the ball to some pretty good wide receivers. Do I think that they are the best in the nation? No, I don't. But I'm going to tell you right now, between Macklin, Brown, and Key, we have some pretty good wide receivers. We also have a couple of pretty good tight ends.
We have an NFL room of tight ends. Yeah.
If we could just get them the ball. But, I mean, when you got somebody in the backfield 0.5 of a second,
Yeah.
as soon as you snap the ball, that's a problem.
Jeremy Kimball says, I got a question. Do you all see Stoops here next year? I already thought he was leaving before the game. Now I really do, because we'll be lucky to win 3. I had Drew Franklin on my show on Thursday night talking Kentucky. And I asked him this question. I said, who do you think retires first? And I'll ask you the same question, Brad, and anybody in our comments that wants to tune in as well.
I don't think Stoops retires.
Well,
I don't think he's.
So I said, who retires first? John Calipari at Arkansas or Mark Stoops at Kentucky? I believe Brad said Stoops at Kentucky was going to retire first. I've always thought an early retirement was in the cards for him, but he thought it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be close. Jeremy, I'm not predicting it to happen, but I would not be surprised if Stoops retires or moves on after this year. Kind of pulls a Nick Saban and said, "Look, all this NIL stuff, all this Oklahoma and Texas and the SEC stuff, I'm done with it. I'm backing out."
See,
so,
I don't agree with any of that, really. I think Stoops still wants – I mean, that's why he entertained the Texas A&M thing in the offseason. I think he still wants a shot at taking a team to a championship level. I just don't think – I think he's worn out at Kentucky. I think he has taken – them almost as far as he can. I think, when Cal took the Kentucky job, there was all this talk that, he's saying, 10 years was the max, and 10 years is long, as long as you can stay at one school, and all this talk. Well, Stoops has been here 12 years. This is his 12th season. And I'm going to be honest with you. Up through about 8 or 9 seasons, you could still see the climb. The past 3, I heard a caller, Brandon, I think earlier, say that we've plateaued. We haven't plateaued. When you start losing 8 out of 10 games in the SEC at home over a 2.5-year period, that's not a plateau. That's a decline. There is no plateau. I'm telling you, fans, this is not a plateau. This is a decline. We are definitely going back down the hill. And I don't think that I don't see the fire in Stoops to climb back up. Now,
I didn't see it today.
I'm saying that at Kentucky. You're asking about retire. I think if he gets an opportunity, he would take a job at a different type of level, like a Texas A&M was last year, where they have all the money.
Is he going to get offered that after?
I don't know. After this, I don't know if he'll get that offer.
Yeah.
But if he does, I think we would see him coach again. I really do.
502-234-1504. We'd love for somebody to give us a shout before we kind of round the show out here. Heard some great callers tonight. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the game and the future of Kentucky football and the rest of the season and everything. Give us a shout. Brad, I mean, we look at the rest of the season. Unfortunately, we got Georgia coming in next week. That's not great timing. So I'm not going to ask us to even talk about that game. But, I mean, what's your updated record prediction after today? I mean,
I said it earlier on the show. The way we played today, this is a 4-win team. You can't win. You can't lose this game at South Carolina and come up with 7 or 8 wins. You just can't. Under no circumstance, this is a home game. You can't do that. if you're looking forward, Coleman, we are staring at best, we are staring at 2-3 in the face. We've got Georgia. Then we've got Ohio at home. Surely we can get a win out of that. And then we go to Ole Miss.
Yep.
We're staring at 2-3 in the face right now.
At best.
I don't think the way we look today, there is no way we're beating Georgia, and there is no way we are going to Oxford, to the real Grove.
Now hang on.
I'm tired of this Grove party crap when we play like we played.
I will be at South Carolina, Brad. I mean, at Ole Miss, Brad. I think you're underestimating the ability of my presence in Oxford. I think I can pull us through.
Well,
Brad.
you got to be better than Hammonds. I can tell you that.
See, that's right. Hammonds hasn't been very good luck for. We're not blaming it on John Hammonds, but I feel
I'm blaming Hammonds.
He hasn't been very good luck. He hasn't been very good luck, that's for sure. Jeremy says, think about this. We didn't even score a touchdown on South Carolina. What the heck are we expecting with Georgia? Good Lord, that's going to be ugly.
I told you earlier.
Yeah,
it could be 100-0. Seriously. I mean, I'm not even playing if they wanted to be.
That's sad. I mean, that's really sad.
Indiana football last night under a brand new coach in game 2. And the coach came from James Madison. He's not a power conference dude. He brought over players from James Madison, who 2 years ago was an FCS team. And they put up 77 points last night in a football game. That's more than the damn basketball team.
It is, even in Indiana. Yeah, definitely.
I'm telling y'all right now, I don't understand why Kentucky has such a hard time putting points on the board.
With the talent that we have. It doesn't make any sense.
You go back and look at the Stoops teams. Why do we have such a challenge to put points on the board?
I don't have an answer to that, Brad. I don't know. But we'll do a last call for calls here. 502-234-1504. Give us a shout if you would like. We don't bite.
What do you think, Coleman? What do you think about where does this team end up after today?
Man, it's just like I don't understand the offense looking so bad this week, because I know it was Southern Miss last week, Brad, but like we at least look decent. I mean, when you shut out another team, when you put up 31 on another team in basically one half, like you're at least decent. I don't care who you're playing. So do you write this off as just a clunker, or do you think that this is our identity?
See, that's my problem is I'm done with the clunkers. Stoops has got to get that shit out of the system. He's got to improve. This is why we can't get to that next level. All the Kentucky fans are like, we want to get to the next level. The reason why we can't get to the next level is these shitty games that we watched today.
Hey,
that's exactly why.
I like Jeremy Kimball. This might be a good comment to end it on, Brad. It takes us forever to score at Kroger Field. It takes me forever to check out at Kroger. This is why we need to change it back to Commonwealth Stadium. It's a curse. It makes sense, Brad. Do we need to? That's the reason we're having these offensive struggles. It's Kroger Field. We need to change it back to Commonwealth Stadium.
So if that's a Gamecock fan, y'all suck. And I can say it. I don't give a crap that y'all beat us 3 years in a row. You're 5-7, and you'll be 5-7 this year.
Well, that's true. That's very true. But I mean, what can you say, Brad? I mean, we've lost to them 3 years in a row. We need to pony up and beat them. I mean, like it's our fault. They beat us
How
fair
about
and
just
square.
come prepared to play ball?
Well, that's
How
what I'm
about
saying.
that?
Shane Beamer, let me say this to respond to that.
Oh, he gets his team ready to play Kentucky. That's for damn sure.
Well, but no, let me on SEC Nation this morning. Shane Beamer said the thing about playing Kentucky is Kentucky's not going to beat themselves. You have to beat Kentucky. But I disagree, Brad. We beat ourselves all the time. that's what I'm saying.
That's an insane comment, to be honest with you, because everything I saw, we clearly know how to beat ourselves. I mean, we can't line up. We get penalty after penalty. We had 13 or 14 penalties today at the most awful times, costing us stops and them scoring and turnovers. And we had 4 fumbles that nobody's going to talk about. You know why? Because we recovered them all. But we put the ball on the ground fumbling 4 times.
I do like that name though, Brad. The Barnyard Pimp. Now that's a good name. You have to admit that's a good. I like the
Especially
Barnyard
for
Pimp.
a bunch of chickens.
Yeah, that's a good name. The Barnyard Pimp. I kind of like that. So props. Well, guys, hey, we appreciate you all listening.
I'm sorry. I'm pissed off at the Gamecocks today. So, don't take it out on me. I apologize. I don't know you, but still.
Even the South Carolina fans, we appreciate you all listening. So go like us. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Talkin Kentucky, and College SportsCast. You got to like both of those things. So
College SportsCast is mine. He's just talking Kentucky with Coleman and Caden.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got to follow us both. If you haven't done that yet, what are you doing? Talkin Kentucky. It's not talking. It's not with the G. It's talking because we're country.
Yeah.
Talk Talkin with the little apostrophe. Talkin Kentucky, and then College SportsCast is spelled like a normal English speaker. College SportsCast. So you got to go like both of those things. And we're just on anything that you can imagine. Any platform you can imagine, we're on it. So Brad, we're on everything.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
So before we get off the air, I do want to congratulate you on getting Drew Franklin on the show. I know that was a big deal for you.
That was cool.
Yeah. So it was cool to see. I did get on there for a few minutes while Drew was on. Tried to get on there for 10 or 15 minutes while he was on. Drew's pretty cool.
Cool dude, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. And I know it's a big deal for you, and I just want to congratulate you on getting Drew on before we get off the air. That's a pretty big deal. And by the way, Drew, if you watch this, you can always come to College SportsCast anytime.
You do that, yeah.
I'm not, I'm definitely not against that, but Jeremy's name dropping.
Jeremy spoke to Drew and Matt. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Jeremy's name dropping. Okay, sorry.
They're cool. They're cool guys. We've had, we've had Mario on from KSR. We've had Maggie Davis, Freddie Maggard, now Drew. Might get Ryan Lemon on at some point, and so no, it's been cool to have those guys on and talk to them. So Drew, especially, I'm a huge Drew Franklin fan. So yeah,
I try. So I am covering Kentucky stuff. I was at the volleyball game last Sunday. I'll be at the volleyball game tomorrow to cover in person. I've been to the renovated new historic Memorial Coliseum. It's historic. You got to put the historic in there now, by the way. But I have been there. It's a really, really fancy place now. And the women they've they put in a lot of money, $82 million. It's the most investment into women's sports in school history. So you got to give Mitch a shout out for that. I know Mitch takes a lot of heat on some of this stuff, but I think overall, Kentucky's sports programs have definitely risen in the 20 years that he's been here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, the women basketball, I'm excited about getting to cover those this year as well. It's going to be fun with Brooks and Georgia Moore and all of them. So I want to throw that in for you guys. I know that Marcia was talking about some of the basketball stuff. So I want to throw that in that at College SportsCast, I am covering that. But you were talking about some of your guests. So my guests have been more in the national scene. Like I've had Jake Crane on from Crane and Company. I've had Peter Burns on my show.
There you go.
From ESPN. I've had Ron Slay on from SEC Network. Former Tennessee Vol, Ron Slay. I've had the let's see. I've had a guy on from Saturday Down South. I have had a guy on from The Next Round. I don't know if you guys know that down in Birmingham, but they are pretty big down there. And he was actually the guy who did Nick Saban show for a long time.
I'd love to have we're working on having Alyssa Lang on, but I feel like she's a South Carolina fan, so I gotta wait a little bit before we have her on because we don't want her bringing this up, so we gotta wait.
Definitely going to brag, I guarantee it.
It's for sure, but
I like Alyssa Lang.
Oh, I do too.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know about that right now.
Jeremy says Drew's from Madisonville and I'm from Nebo. So we're both from Hopkins County, just like Caden. That's right. Yeah. Caden's from Hopkins County. You all are from the same area down there. We had a whole conversation, had a whole Madisonville.
Nobody in the world knows where Nebo is, Jeremy. Okay.
Well, Caden and Drew Franklin do. I don't, but Drew Franklin does for sure. We talked about Golden Glaze. We talked about Farrell's, I think it was something like that. Get a burger. Yeah. Bo Buckner says, shout out to Bowl County for being the number 12 team in the nation today, 38-21. Hey, at least some teams from Kentucky are winning, Brad. Some teams are representing. Shout out to Bowl County, the Rebels, right? Is that who they are? Bowl County Rebels.
Population 200. There you go. That's why I said nobody in the world knows where Nebo, Kentucky is, man.
There's not a single stoplight in Nebo. Not one. I feel like
there's places around here called Nobob and stuff too, but nobody cares. Okay.
Isn't there there's a hell for certain Kentucky? I think that's right. There's a hell for certain. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see Cutter Boley a whole lot this year. He is a true freshman. I'm going to be honest with you. He was a 4-star player, but I think putting him in this year is just going to ruin him, if you ask me.
If anybody, it'll be Gavin Wimsatt, Brad. If they make a change of quarterback, it'll be Gavin Wimsatt for sure.
I'm just being honest with you guys. Listen, I think over time, if you develop Cutter Boley, I think give him a little time here, I think he could lead us to a more promising future. However, I just feel like putting him in as a true freshman with this offensive line that we just seen in an SEC schedule, it's just going to ruin him, if you ask me.
We'll do another last call for calls here, 502-234-1504. Wanted to read off some, Corey Price is the statistician for Kentucky football. So I thought I'd read off some stats of his. Kentucky is 17-3 in their last 20 games that their opponent has less than 300 yards of total offense. 2 of those 3 losses have come against South Carolina. So you got to beat Shane Beamer, Brad. It's frustrating that you're right. We're Shane Beamer's job security.
Now we got to go to their house next year.
That's gonna suck.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We probably ain't gonna win that game.
Another Corey Price stat. This is Kentucky's worst home loss ever against South Carolina. 25 points. The previous worst loss was 21 points on September 29th, 2012. This is Kentucky's worst home loss to an unranked SEC opponent since October 31st, 2015 versus Tennessee, which was 31 points. Kentucky is 2-8 in their last 10 SEC home games. Their worst record in a stretch of 10 SEC home games since November 3rd, 2012 to September 19th, 2015. One more here. This is the most points. The most points that Kentucky football has allowed in a game immediately following a shutout since September 28th, 1996, when Florida scored 65 against Kentucky after the Wildcats shut out Indiana 3-0 the week prior. So not some great stat lines there, Brad. A lot of firsts in a long time that don't tall in our favor.
We had a caller mention the 90s Kentucky football, and I have mentioned Joker, that I like to call the joke. But because I know a lot of people that are fans now will remember him. But if you guys remember Bill Curry as the coach.
Yep.
Oh, man. Like, you talking about scoring, we never scored over 10 points a game. I mean, slow, run the ball. It was awful. Like, I mean, we were a awful football team. And Curry was an Alabama coach and come to Kentucky and just blanked the bed, to be kind of honest with you.
Well, guys, we'll kind of start to round it out here. Next Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, we'll be doing episode number 109 of Talking Kentucky Live. It'll be myself, my co-host, Caden Holmes. We might even have a special Kentucky gymnastics guest on with us. A little teaser there. Don't know yet, but, just stay tuned. We might be talking some gymnastics to detract us from the football loss a little bit. So we'll do that. And then, hey, like it or not, Brad and I are going to be doing a post-game show for Georgia. So, we might beat Georgia. Who knows? But probably not. But if we don't, and we're sitting here 1-2 next week, we're still going to be here and we're still going to talk and we can complain some more together and have a group therapy session. So, yeah.
Call it SportsCast. We will be doing the Big Fuss show, and it won't all be about Kentucky. There's some other stuff that's gone on today. Notre Dame lost. Auburn lost at home to California. I mean, there are some other things that's going on. Iowa lost at home to Iowa State. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about. It's called the Big Fuss Show. We do hot takes and debates, and it'll be on Tuesday night. You can join us at 8 Central Time on Tuesday night. We will be doing that. And then on Friday nights, last night, we do our game picks each week. I'm not going to mention how bad I have done the first half of today, and I haven't really checked scores since Kentucky lost. So I'm not sure where I'm at right now on the other picks, to be honest with you. But I started 7-4 last week. I won 60% of all games last year. We usually pick 10 to 12 games. I try to get 12 if there are 12 that are worthy games to talk about. But on Friday nights, we do our game day pick'ems. And on Tuesday nights, we do our Big Fuss show. And occasionally when I'm not doing Kentucky volleyball and basketball, women's basketball, we will do a weekend wrap-up show. But I will not have one tomorrow, maybe next week.
Well, guys, again, be sure to follow us so you don't miss anything. I'm Talking Kentucky on everything. Remember, no G, just Talking Country. And then Brad is College SportsCast on everything. So watch live, listen back. We don't care as long as you participate. So, well, Brad, this will wrap it up here. And tough day for the Cats.
Very tough day.
But for Coleman Scott and for Brad Harvey and for losing to South Carolina once again, this has been the Talking Kentucky College Sportscast postgame show. And we'll see y'all next week. Go Cats.
I'm